Welcome to the Conspiracy Files with Paige Carter. I'm your host, Paige Carter. In the twilight hours of August 31st, 1997, a Mercedes-Benz S280 crashed in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel in Paris. In the car were 4 people: the driver, Henri Paul; Dodi Fayed, the son of then-owner of Harrods, Mohammed Al-Fayed; his bodyguard, Trevor Rhys-Jones; and Diana, Princess of Wales. None but Rhys-Jones would survive the crash. The world woke up to the shocking news of Princess Diana's demise, and the initial reports attributed it to a fatal accident, a tragic end to the life of the people's princess. However, as the shock of Diana's passing receded, an undercurrent of suspicion began to rise. The public and the media began questioning the circumstances surrounding the accident, with many suggesting foul play. Diana had been a highly public figure, known for her humanitarian work, her tumultuous marriage to Prince Charles, and her candidness about the struggles of royal life. Her outspokenness had earned her admirers and critics alike, leading many to believe that her death was not an accident, but a planned event. The first strand of doubt arose from the unusual behavior of the driver, Henri Paul. While he was initially reported to have been drunk at the time of the accident, subsequent investigations revealed that he was not an ordinary chauffeur. Paul was a high-ranking security officer at the Ritz, which was owned by Dodi's father, Mohammed Al-Fayed. This revelation sparked questions about why a security officer, not a professional chauffeur, was driving the car that fatal night. Further fuel was added to the flames of suspicion when it was discovered that the Mercedes S280 was not Diana's usual mode of transport. She typically traveled in a bulletproof, state-of-the-art vehicle provided by the British government. However, on the night of the accident, Diana and Dodi had left their usual car behind, opting for the non-armored Mercedes from the Ritz's fleet. Was it a spontaneous decision, or was it part of a larger, darker plot? Moreover, the CCTV footage of the Ritz Hotel, where Diana and Dodi dined before the crash, showed Diana looking anxious and repeatedly glancing at the entrance. This image of a visibly distressed Diana fed the public's growing skepticism. These eerie coincidences and unanswered questions have seeded doubt in many minds, leading to a flurry of conspiracy theories surrounding Princess Diana's demise. Was it a tragic accident, or a meticulously planned assassination? The truth, as always, lies shrouded in mystery. As we delve deeper into this enigma, we will unravel the layers of secrecy, piecing together the scattered fragments of truth. The aim is not to assert conclusions, but to illuminate the shadows, to ask the questions that demand to be asked, to explore the forbidden knowledge that hovers at the periphery of the officially accepted narrative. Princess Diana's life was a tapestry of paradoxes, and her death has proven to be no different. To truly understand the depth of this mystery, it's crucial to examine the historical and cultural background that framed this tragic event. The year 1997 was a time of significant change in Britain, with the political climate marked by the recent election of Tony Blair's Labour Party, ending 18 years of conservative rule. Blair sought to modernize the monarchy, and Princess Diana, with her charisma and compassion, was a key figure in this new vision of a more relatable and human royal family. However, Diana's relationship with the monarchy was complicated, characterized by a mixture of admiration, envy, and resistance. Her unprecedented popularity often overshadowed the rest of the royal family, leading to perceived tensions. When she divorced Prince Charles in 1996, she became an even more potent symbol of the changing monarchy, a beloved figure, yet an outsider. Her relationship with Dodi Fayed, a Muslim man, only intensified this sense of her being an outlier within the traditionalist royal establishment. It was against this backdrop that Diana's death occurred, and it wasn't long before whispers of foul play began to circulate. The scenarios suggested ranged from the plausible to the sensational, drawing on the atmosphere of secrecy and fear that surrounded the royal family and the British establishment more broadly. The notion of the establishment in Britain is nebulous, often described as a power network comprising the upper echelons of the state, the judiciary, the city, and the media. Historically, the establishment has been associated with cover-ups and conspiracies, from the Profumo affair in the 1960s to the Hillsborough disaster in 1989. As such, it's not entirely surprising that the establishment was soon implicated in theories about Diana's death. The British press played a significant role in this narrative. The paparazzi, infamous for their relentless pursuit of Diana, were immediately cast as villains. Yet, they were also convenient scapegoats, diverting attention from other potential culprits. Meanwhile, the mainstream media, allegedly in league with the establishment, was accused of suppressing the truth, fostering an environment of suspicion and mistrust. In this context, the official narrative of Diana's death as a tragic accident was met with skepticism by many. The prevailing distrust in the establishment, coupled with the enigmatic circumstances of Diana's death, created a fertile ground for alternative theories to flourish. These theories, whether grounded in fact or fiction, continue to fuel the debate around Princess Diana's untimely demise, a testament to her enduring influence and the persistent allure of the forbidden. Among the key figures and organizations in the conspiracy theories surrounding Princess Diana's death, Mohammed al-Fayed, the father of Dodi Fayed, stands out prominently. Al-Fayed, a wealthy Egyptian business magnate, publicly accused the British establishment of orchestrating his son and Diana's deaths. He claimed that the royal family, specifically Prince Philip, conceived the alleged plot because of Diana's relationship with his Muslim son, a narrative that stoked the existing cultural and religious tensions within British society. Another key figure is Trevor Rhys-Jones, the sole survivor of the crash and the bodyguard of Diana and Dodi. His initial lack of memory about the incident fueled speculation and conspiracy theories. As Rhys-Jones began to recover fragments of his memory, his fragmented recollections were interpreted to fit various narratives, further complicating the story. Then there's Henri Paul, the driver of the Mercedes bearing Diana and Dodi on the fateful night. The official report cites Paul's inebriation and reckless driving as key factors in the crash. However, skeptics argue that Paul, who also worked for the Fayed family, was a pawn in a larger plot, with some even suggesting that he was purposefully intoxicated. The French authorities, who conducted the official investigation into the crash, also play a significant role in the conspiracy theories. Their immediate conclusion that the incident was an accident caused by high-speed pursuit by paparazzi was met with skepticism. Critics argue that this swift determination could have been a way to manage international diplomatic relations, preventing the incident from escalating into a larger controversy. Lastly, the role of the British Secret Service, MI6, is central to many conspiracy theories. Claims have been made that they were actively monitoring Diana due to her relationship with Dodi and her humanitarian work, which was perceived to be politically sensitive. Some theories even suggest that MI6, under orders from the royal family, directly orchestrated the crash. The relationships between these figures and organizations form a complex web of power, intrigue, and secrecy, a fertile ground for conspiracy theories. Their actions and motives, perceived or real, shape the narrative surrounding the death of Princess Diana, leaving many unanswered questions and fostering a sense of uncertainty that persists to this day. As clues began to emerge and new incidents came to light, the narrative around Diana's death began to transform. The story that was initially told and accepted by the public was now being questioned, scrutinized, and analyzed. The unfolding discoveries and leaks were crucial in bringing the conspiracy theories to public attention. In 2004, 7 years after the tragic accident, an official inquiry by the British authorities, known as Operation Paget, began to investigate the numerous conspiracy theories surrounding Diana's death. The investigation was headed by former Metropolitan Police Commissioner Lord Stevens, who was tasked with scrutinizing the allegations. His team traced the events of the night of the crash, interviewed key witnesses, and assessed the roles of Paul, Rhys-Jones, and the paparazzi. One of the most startling discoveries in the course of the investigation was a letter from Diana to her butler, Paul Burrell, written just 10 months before her death. In the letter, Diana expressed her fear of a planned accident, stating that someone was planning to tamper with the brakes of her car. This letter, which was made public by Burrell in 2003, fueled the existing conspiracy theories and added a new layer of suspicion and doubt to the narrative. There were also leaked documents suggesting that the British Secret Service, MI6, had indeed been monitoring Diana. While these documents didn't provide any direct evidence of the agency's involvement in the crash, they did lend weight to the theory that Diana was under surveillance due to her relationship with Dodi and her humanitarian work. In addition, there were questions about the actions of the French authorities in the immediate aftermath of the crash. Reports surfaced that the tunnel was hosed down within hours of the accident, potentially washing away critical evidence. The speed with which this was done raised eyebrows and prompted questions about whether the French authorities were attempting to cover something up. Moreover, there were inconsistencies in the testimonies of key witnesses, including the paparazzi who were at the scene. Their recollections varied widely, with some claiming they saw a blinding flash of light before the crash, a detail that was not included in the official report. These emerging pieces of evidence and critical events cast a new light on the circumstances surrounding Princess Diana's death, transforming it from a tragic accident into a possible conspiracy. The smoke of speculation had started to rise, and the public was left wrestling with a labyrinth of questions that challenged the official narrative. As the public grappled with these unsettling revelations, it seemed that those in influential positions were taking steps to suppress further investigation and control the narrative. Those who dared to challenge the official story found themselves facing significant resistance. The media, for instance, faced a barrage of criticism for fueling conspiracy theories, even as their pursuit of truth led them to unearth new pieces of evidence. One such instance involved Mohammed Al-Fayed, Dodi's father, who was vocal in his belief that his son and Diana were murdered. He claimed to have been actively thwarted in his attempts to uncover the truth by British and French institutions. His allegations included an assertion that the British establishment orchestrated the crash to prevent Diana from marrying his son, a Muslim. Al-Fayed's claims were met with hostility and dismissal by many. His efforts to launch an independent investigation were blocked, and his repeated calls for a public inquiry into the crash were ignored. The institutions he accused of foul play seemed to be working to maintain the narrative that Diana's death was nothing more than a tragic accident. Further adding to the suspicion was the treatment of Sergeant Trevor Rees-Jones, the only survivor of the crash. Rees-Jones claimed to have no memory of the events leading up to the accident. This was attributed to the severe injuries he sustained in the crash, which required extensive facial reconstruction surgery. However, skeptics questioned whether Rees-Jones's memory loss might have been convenient for those who wished to keep certain details of that night hidden. Had he been silenced to prevent him from providing evidence that could challenge the official narrative? In the face of such suppression and control efforts, the public's demand for transparency only grew stronger. People were not satisfied with the official explanation and wanted answers to the questions that remained. The lack of clarity, coupled with the reluctance of authorities to delve deeper into the matter, only served to fan the flames of suspicion. The case of Princess Diana's death was becoming more than a tale of a tragic accident. It was evolving into a story of potential deceit, manipulation, and cover-up. The world was left to wonder if the princess's death was indeed a mere accident, or if it was a carefully planned operation, shrouded in secrecy and deception. Consequently, Princess Diana's death, far from being a closed case, remains a mystery that continues to fascinate and baffle people, stirring up theories and suspicions that challenge the official narrative. The question remains, was her death really an accident, or was it the result of a larger, more sinister plot? In the face of such uncertainty and suspicion, a number of individuals dared to challenge the status quo. Wielding their pens or their voices, these journalists, whistleblowers, and insiders aimed to expose what they believed to be the truth about Diana's death. They risked their careers, their reputations, and in some cases, even their lives in pursuit of transparency. John Morgan, an Australian investigative journalist, dedicated his career to probing the circumstances of Diana's death. He authored 10 books on the topic, challenging the official narrative and providing in-depth analysis of the evidences. Morgan alleged that there were significant discrepancies and omissions in the official investigations, suggesting a large-scale cover-up. For his work, Morgan faced widespread criticism and was often dismissed as a conspiracy theorist. Simultaneously, Richard Tomlinson, a former MI6 officer, came forward with claims that bore striking similarities to the Paris crash. Tomlinson alleged that the British Secret Service had once devised a plot to assassinate a Balkan leader by staging a car crash in a tunnel. The plot, according to Tomlinson, involved blinding the driver with a high-powered flash of light, a circumstance eerily similar to the witnessed bright flash before Diana's fatal crash. Tomlinson faced severe backlash for his revelations, including imprisonment and a ban on his autobiography by the British government. Additionally, there was the mysterious case of James Anderson, a French photojournalist who claimed to have followed Diana and Dodi on the night of the crash. Anderson was found dead in his burnt-out car in 2000, in what was officially ruled a suicide. However, those who knew him cast doubt on this conclusion. Some believe Anderson was silenced because of what he knew about Diana's death. These individuals, despite facing retaliation and risk, attempted to shed light on the mysteries surrounding Diana's death. Their efforts suggest a resistance to the official narrative, a desire for truth, and a commitment to questioning the powerful. Their stories add another layer of intrigue to the already complex narrative surrounding Princess Diana's tragic demise. As we delve deeper into their accounts and allegations, we're left with even more questions. Was the world told the truth about Princess Diana's death, or was there a more sinister reality lurking beneath the surface? The answers remain elusive, shrouded in secrecy, and mired in controversy. Despite the controversy, the official French investigation concluded that Princess Diana's chauffeur, Henri Paul, was primarily responsible for the crash due to his inebriation and reckless driving. However, crucial details surrounding Paul's condition that night have fueled widespread skepticism. Forensic reports showed that Henri Paul had a significantly high blood alcohol level, but this has been met with dispute. Those who knew Paul argue that he showed no signs of inebriation that night. Moreover, his blood samples reportedly contained an unusually high level of carbon monoxide, raising questions about the validity of the samples. Controversially, some believe the blood samples were switched or tampered with, a theory bolstered by the fact that 2 embalming procedures were carried out on Paul's body, potentially distorting post-mortem toxicology results. Adding to the intrigue, it was revealed that Paul had an astonishingly large amount of money in his bank account at the time of his death. For a security officer earning a modest salary, this raised eyebrows. His wealth was never fully explained, leading to speculation that he may have been involved in clandestine activities, or perhaps even coerced into participating in a conspiracy. Declassified files from the Metropolitan Police Service's Operation Paige, led by Lord Stevens, add another layer of complexity. The operation, launched in response to allegations of a cover-up, found that Paul was indeed an informer for the French intelligence service. While this doesn't prove direct involvement in a conspiracy, it certainly fuels the debate about Paul's role in the events of that fateful night. A key witness, François Levistre, reported seeing a bright flash of light before the crash, corroborating Richard Tomlinson's claims about MI6's potential assassination method. However, other witnesses and investigations disputed Levistre's account, leading to further contention and raising more questions than answers. In the realm of forbidden knowledge, it's important to remember that truth can be elusive. The circumstances surrounding Princess Diana's tragic death are no exception. With conflicting testimonies, unexplained anomalies, and a swirl of secrecy, the official narrative remains under scrutiny. These pieces of evidence, while not conclusively proving an orchestrated plot against Diana, certainly stoke the fires of suspicion and continue to fuel the debate about what really happened on that late August night in 1997. The mystery persists, the questions remain unanswered, and the quest for truth continues. To say that the death of Princess Diana sent shockwaves through society would be an understatement. It was a cataclysmic event that echoed through every corner of the globe, shattering public trust and faith in the establishment. The People's Princess, as she was affectionately known, was mourned by millions, her death leaving a void that could never be filled. As news of the crash spread, the world held its collective breath, grappling with the reality of such a tragic loss. The narrative of a drunk driver and relentless paparazzi was readily disseminated by the media, shaping public understanding and opinion of the event. However, as inconsistencies and anomalies surfaced, so did skepticism and suspicion. Trust in the media and the establishment began to wane as the public questioned the official narrative. The more the story was dissected, the more it seemed to unravel, revealing a tapestry of intrigue and potential conspiracy. The controversy surrounding Princess Diana's death brought into sharp focus the role of the media, both traditional and tabloid, in shaping public perception. The relentless pursuit of Diana by the paparazzi in the moments before the crash sparked a fierce debate about media ethics and the price of fame. Meanwhile, the mainstream media's acceptance of the official narrative without question stoked the fires of suspicion further for many. As the years passed, various documentaries, books, and investigations have attempted to shed light on the circumstances surrounding Diana's death, each adding a new layer of complexity. Many of these works have been met with denial and disapproval from official sources, further fueling public mistrust. The death of Princess Diana was not just a tragic event, but a moment that changed the course of history. It challenged public faith in institutions, sparked debates about the integrity of the media, and gave rise to a persistent quest for truth. The questions raised by her untimely demise continue to echo through the corridors of power and into the public sphere, a haunting reminder of a loss that continues to reverberate around the world. In the end, the mystery surrounding Diana's death serves as a stark reflection of the complex tapestry of trust, power, and secrecy that defines our society. The quest for truth continues, fueled by a lingering sense of unease and a yearning for answers that may never come. The legacy of Princess Diana extends beyond her life, her charitable work, or her iconic fashion. It is intricately woven into the fabric of modern culture, politics, and technology through the conspiracies surrounding her death. The questions that arose from her fatal accident have left a lasting impression, acting as a catalyst for change and a constant reminder of the power of public skepticism. The controversy ignited a worldwide scrutiny of the media. It spurred drastic reforms in the paparazzi industry and media ethics, leading to stricter privacy laws and guidelines to protect individuals, particularly high-profile ones, from intrusive reporting. In essence, Diana's death has become a cautionary tale for the media industry, a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of reckless pursuit of a story. In the political sphere, the conspiracy theories surrounding Diana's death have played a significant role in shaping public trust in institutions. The skepticism towards the official narrative of her death has fostered a culture of distrust and suspicion towards the establishment, with many using her story as a parable to question the transparency and accountability of those in power. This has, in turn, influenced political discourse, prompting politicians and governments to engage more openly with the public to regain their trust. The advent and proliferation of the internet and social media have further exacerbated the conspiracy. The digital revolution has given rise to a new generation of conspiracy theorists who continue to dissect every detail of Diana's death, sharing their theories and findings online. This has not only kept the conspiracy alive, but also intensified it, with the online echo chamber amplifying and validating these theories. It has also shown the power of technology as a tool for public discourse and the democratization of information. As we navigate the complex terrain of truth and trust in the digital age, the lessons from Diana's death remain relevant. It serves as a stark reminder of the importance of media ethics, the power of public skepticism, and the responsibility of institutions to maintain public trust. It underscores the need for transparency, accountability, and respectful discourse in our increasingly interconnected and digital world. The conspiracy surrounding Diana's death is more than just a tale of intrigue and suspicion. It is a reflection of our society's struggles with trust, power, and secrecy. It is a testament to the enduring power of the public's quest for truth, a quest that continues to shape our world in profound and unexpected ways. As we continue to debate the circumstances of her death, we are reminded of the enduring legacy of Princess Diana, a legacy defined not just by her life, but by the mystery and controversy that followed her death. The questions surrounding Princess Diana's death continue to linger, a testament to the enduring power of mystery and the human instinct to seek answers. Was her death truly an accident, a tragic but unavoidable collision of circumstances? Or was there something more sinister at play, a plot hatched in the corridors of power to silence a woman who had become too inconvenient to tolerate? These questions are not simply about Diana, but rather they are reflective of broader societal anxieties. They speak to our collective fears about manipulation and deceit, about the lengths those in power might go to protect their interests. They are an expression of our deep-seated skepticism towards the official narrative, a skepticism that has only deepened with time. And so, the image of that Parisian tunnel continues to haunt us, its darkness echoing with the whispers of unanswered questions. The wreckage of that Mercedes-Benz, the snapped paparazzi cameras, the ambulance that took an unusually long route to the hospital. Each is a piece of a puzzle that seems eternally incomplete, a trail of breadcrumbs leading us back to the same haunting question. Was it really an accident? But perhaps the answer isn't as important as the question itself. For in asking, we are asserting our right to question, to doubt, to seek the truth. We are expressing our refusal to accept things at face value, to let the powerful dictate our understanding of the world. And in doing so, we are reaffirming the power of the people, the power to question, to challenge, to change. And so, the mystery of Diana's death continues to captivate us, its secrets kept well beyond our reach. It is a story that has been woven into the fabric of our collective consciousness, a tale of power, secrecy, and the relentless pursuit of truth. It is a narrative that, despite its many twists and turns, remains unresolved, its final chapter unwritten. The enduring fascination with Diana's death is not about the death of a princess, but rather the survival of a mystery. It is about the human instinct to question, to probe, to seek out the truth. It is about our collective struggle against the darkness of ignorance and the power of the unknown. And above all, it is a testament to the enduring power of Diana's legacy, a legacy that continues to inspire, to provoke, to challenge. Because in the end, it is not the certainty of answers, but the courage to question that keeps her story alive. Thanks for listening. This has been The Conspiracy Files with Paige Carter. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you'd like to support the show, subscribe to the Forbidden Knowledge Network on Patreon. Subscribe now.